We're just chatting away here.
We do, don't we?
Well, but that's what we do. That's
do.
what we do. Entertaining chat
Shannon Briggs
for our
is
audience.
upstairs.
Talk about Shannon Briggs. He's in the building.
There's a man who can chat.
I thought there was some kind of kerfuffle going on in the corner. Next minute, let's go, Jack.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Around the campus.
Well, let's go, shall we?
We'll get him at some point.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's first, though, of course, Adam Smith, Johnny Nelson here with us. Let's talk, first of all, about a huge card coming up in Liverpool. Super welterweight showdown. Liam Smith and Sam Eggington return to a hometown first time since 2016 for Smith. And, of course, world title defeat to Jaime Munguia. So coming off the back of that, what does he have to prove as a result of that, Adam?
Well, first of all, it's a wonderful show. It's a terrific card from top to bottom. It's sold out in Liverpool. We love going there on Merseyside, real fight city, of course. And it's absolutely packed. Liam Smith topping the bill, former world champion, of course, in with his former sparring partner, Sam Eggington. Now, I've seen them spar before, as have many others, and I tell you what, they have left nothing. They absolutely go at each other. They always have done, and I think it will just translate into a really good top of the bill on Saturday. But Liam will start favourite, of course. He's got the proven pedigree. He's now joined Matchroom. He says he feels like he's turning over again. It's his professional debut. For Sam, it's a big chance to come back. It's a big opportunity for him.
You can't write Sam Eggington off because he's a big, strong unit coming in. And again, when the sparring sessions are competitive, you know what you're capable of doing. Sam Eggington on a roll. Sam Eggington that believes in himself. He likes to be the underdog. So again, he knows he's the underdog against someone that's a former world champion. So do not be surprised with an upset. Do not be surprised.
He's been through a bad run, Sam, last couple of years. He was our young boxing writers fighter of the year, and he lost in the European title fight, and he just sort of stagnated slightly, having come up and become Barry Hearn's big favourite fighter, a sort of mini Carl Froch, Barry was saying. And Sam needs a big win. He's coming off a little victory. He needs to go in and believe in himself against Liam Smith, which he will do, but he's always in action-packed fights, so I think it's going to be a terrific one.
Also, David Price on the card, talking about sort of sons of the city, a proud sort of Liverpudlian himself. What does the future hold for David Price?
Great guy. We all love David Price, and boy, he can punch. He's got all the attributes. We know over 3 rounds he's one of the most dangerous fighters in the world, despite his knockout defeats. What do you think's left for him, though, against his Cash Ali?
I think for David Price, him and Cash Ali are familiar with each other. They've sparred with each other before, but actually their characters are very much the same. Cash Ali's got very fast hands. David Price got very powerful hands. So they know what each other's got. And these two guys, I think when they get past 4 or 5 rounds, that's when they start to doubt themselves. But because they're familiar with each other, I think this will call for an entertaining fight. And they won't doubt themselves when they get past 4 or 5 rounds, if they do. For David Price, I think, well, realistically, where's he going to go now? Because I think when he steps out of his safety zone, he gets turned over. So right now, he's got a chance to show off in Liverpool to say, right, I'm here, I'm involved. I'm going to give you a bit of entertainment.
Yeah, no one wants to see David go on too long. As I said, he's such a popular figure in the sport, but he still has that power. You know, he beat Tom Little, he rocked Alexander Povetkin, and this heavyweight scene is so wide open that just a couple of victories and he could be back in with a shout at something.
The problem is,
I think it's a step at a time.
Once he pushes too far, he falls to pieces, and that's the problem. We all know that. All the fighters know that. So we'll know he'll get so far, and then that's where the book stops.
How complex is that to manage? If you're trying to guide someone like that, who's got this sort of quite unique scenario, if you like, who has a sort of a ceiling, let's put it that way, in the kindest possible way.
But funnily enough, it didn't look like he had much of a ceiling. You know, when he turned over, he was an Olympic bronze medalist. He was unbeaten. All the talk was that he was going to fight a Tyson Fury or an Anthony Joshua. He lost to Tony Thompson, and then I think they made a mistake putting him back in with Thompson, and he lost a couple in a row. The confidence sort of went, and I think that's such an important part as a heavyweight. But as far as the sort of basic skills go, he's got a wonderful jab. He's got a huge right hand. He's dangerous at any stage of a fight. The question, level-wise, how far he can go now.
I think it's all mental. I think once you get that round there, and that's why I think he will benefit from the skills and the experience he's had when he retires and becomes a trainer. I'm telling you now, that is everything, and he'll be able to translate
He's a bright guy, David.
fights coming
and he'll be really pushed by that big crowd on Saturday night in Liverpool. I think he'll want to really perform.
We've got to talk about the heavyweight division overall at world level. So we've got AJ, of course, preparing for Miller. We've got Tyson Fury fighting Tom Schwarz. Also, not to forget, Deontay Wilder taking on Dominic Breazeale. So what do you make of the current state of affairs?
Well, AJ's locked away in training. He trains in Sheffield for a number of weeks, and he moves over to America to finish his camp for Jarrell Miller, who's training over in Miami at the moment. Yeah, Tyson Fury fights this unbeaten Schwartz, who not many people have heard of. People are disappointed about that, but it's Tyson Fury back. That's what we want to see. And, of course, Deontay Wilder fights Dominic Breazeale in a fight on May the 18th. So they've all got, you know, medium fights, maybe. I think AJ's probably got the most dangerous of them with Miller.
I think at the moment it's like juggling balls, because you've got these three fighters that are unbeaten, that are at the top of their tree, and so you've got to keep them winning to make sure that the chances of a unification fight or the meeting is still there. I think they will. I think they'll all come through successfully. But let's see what happens towards the back end of the year. Who goes where? Does AJ fight Wilder? Does Wilder get a rematch with Tyson Fury? That's what makes it so intriguing. That's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
I think the loudest of the lot of them is actually Tyson Fury, but he's the one with the least to offer. He has no belts.
Well, right. It's all about sort of, I suppose, the strategy and getting the planning right.
Of course.
We mentioned this very briefly. We've got an exciting guest in the studio later. Have a look at this.
Start the camera. Start the camera. You ready? Let's go, champ! Tyson Fury, David Hayes, Anthony Joshua, I'm here for you. Look at him! What's stopping you, champ? Let's go, champ! Nobody can stop. Your comeback gonna be short. That's right! Champ! Let's go, champ! Let's go, champ! Have a good day. He's pretty and I'm ugly, so it's a great matchup. Let's go, champ.
Shannon, the Cannon Briggs.
Don't do that, champ. Hey, don't do that, champ. For real, don't do that, champ.
Left hand, oh, he's got Lewis there. Lewis caught by a left hand, and he might well have gone down but for the ropes.
Big right hand by Briggs. Looking to follow it up with the left. The right down goes Lahovich.
Let's go, champ!
Why do people love him so much, John?
You know what? Because he's a character. We were just talking to him. I said, how old are you? He said, I'm 47. He looks massive. He makes me look small. 47? I look younger than him. No, but anyway, so I said, when are you actually going to fight? Because the last time he fought was 3 years ago. Now he said he's fighting in June. Tyson Fury has given him a lifeline to say, box on my undercard. I actually want to see him fight because no matter what, like him or loathe him, I think he's got anything left or not. When he walks in a room, you think that there's some kind of right in the corner, and it's him shouting and bawling, and people they gravitate towards him. And for other fighters, they put the blinkers on because they think, I don't want to fight you because I either win and look bad or lose and my career's over. So that's why he's been in the situation where he's not fought for 3 years. So now he's back in the UK, he's doing a tour, which is a great tour, and he's such a nice character.
Huge personality. He gave Lennox Lewis such a great fight all those years ago, and I think he thinks Jarrell Miller has a real chance against Joshua.
Yeah. He's certainly kind of talking up Miller's chances of an upset there. Let's just talk briefly, Adam, about last week's card at the Copper Box. Threw up some good storylines here. Charlie Edwards defending his belt. Joshua Boateng as well, impressing. Lawrence Okoli too.
I think Joshua Boateng's the real star, isn't he? 10 out of 10. Not punch perfect because he was a little wild trying to get the stoppage, but I tell you, when those right hands landed, you could just feel the power from ringside. That was the difference against the very stubborn Liam Conroy. Boateng, I think, is really going places. Lawrence Okoli beaten Wadi Camacho, so he goes on rather ungainly style, but he's doing everything right. He's winning fights, and Charlie Edwards putting on a boxing exhibition. But we're really excited about this week. Don't forget Fowler Fitzgerald. That one has got real spite. Both unbeaten, both former Commonwealth Games gold medalists. They don't like each other. That's the chief support.
Fantastic. Johnny and also Adam, thank you very much indeed. Always a pleasure to speak to you.